He is playing against Boaz Van Driel. I am going to butcher that name.
Yeah, apologize in advance.
There's not one. I can call him Van the entire time, but I imagine Van Driel is his last name, and I can't. Usually you can lean on one. It's like I'll just call him by his first name, or I'll just call him by his last name. But
yeah, so Boaz, we apologize profusely when you watch our replay.
Yeah. So he is playing Bug Landstill, kind of as you were mentioning, because our first round on camera was round 3, and we had a Bug control deck there, and that was a non-standstill version. This version does have standstill. This was slightly different. Still kind of similar stuff. He's got 4 Jace, 2 Liliana. We did see that same breakdown, I believe, in the first deck.
All right, we're off. Jim has 6 cards, and Boaz plays a very, very non-conventional card in his Landstill decks, and that is Mox Diamond.
Yeah, so he's got 2 mana on turn 1 and is not making use of it yet.
He's holding up both Diabolic Edict and Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, Abrupt Decay, as we mentioned.
So this is going to lead into a turn 2 Liliana of the Veil.
And we've got a Goblin Lackey from Jim Davis.
If I was Buzz, yeah, use something, probably just the Diabolic Edict.
Yep, get rid of the Lackey at the end of your turn.
And then untap into a pretty deadly Liliana of the Veil.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. Liliana's going to come down. Probably just make them both discard. Obviously going to make them both discard. There's nothing to sacrifice.
It's certainly not going to make Jim
I just imagine.
sacrifice.
I guess the other idea was just
passing.
to not do anything, right? But he's going to make them both discard. And he's already got his card ready.
So one of the cards in Boaz's deck that makes Mox Diamond not only playable but very, very powerful is Life from the Loam. So he's using both Life from the Loam and Standstill as his card advantage.
3 of each of those, yep.
Yep. So he can accelerate either one out and have Mox Diamond gives Life from the Loam some fuel.
So it looks like Jim discarded a Siege Gang Commander.
While Boaz discards a Wasteland.
Yes. Alright, Jim goes...
this card is normally going to be excellent, but as it turns out...
he has Abrupt Decay. We've got an Aether Vial from
Boaz
Jim.
draws a land or a Life from the Loam, this game might be... is going to be able to go Hellbent. Yeah. So a land for that. So Abrupt Decay is going to get the Aether Vial.
Yeah.
Liliana is going to take up to 5 counters.
Yeah, and
for free, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's going to be able to start attacking here with this Mistress Factory, which is what's happening right here. So it knocks Jim.
Extra bonus.
Yeah, I mean, he is in incredible shape right now. Liliana able to do work that doesn't hurt Boaz at all, and in the meantime, Jim can't even get a creature to stick, or can't even get a permanent to stick. Yeah, non-land permanent to stick. And there goes Goblin Pile Driver.
Normally, Jim's Aether Vials are just going to be crippling for Boaz. Like blank Standstill, blanks, all the counter spells in Boaz's deck. So that attack with that Mistress Factory, that represents 20% of the damage sources in Boaz's deck. He has 4 Mistress Factory and 1 Creeping Tar Pit. And those are his only damage sources.
Wow, yeah.
His other way to win is his 4 copies of Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Sure.
Being better than all and such.
Here's a nice play. Mog War Marshal is going to put 2 creatures into play, so Liliana being activated is not going to...
Not the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Alright, and there's that Creeping Tar Pit that you mentioned.
I believe the Mistress Factory will stay back. I actually think Boaz should just keep ticking up this Liliana.
And that's what he does here. And there goes a Goblin Lackey from Jim.
Jim's almost out of cards too, and he doesn't have anything to show for it, really.
Yeah, in the meantime, Boaz is able to basically use his lands to bring Jim to 0 pretty shortly. You know, once these goblins, I mean, he can't really, Jim can't profitably attack. The factory's sitting there. I think he's thinking about attacking.
He's thinking about paying Echo.
Oh, it's Jim. Okay, he passed.
Yeah.
I thought he had passed, but since nothing was happening, I thought maybe he didn't pass.
You can see Jim not knowing, not being positive
like,
which
well,
one he
if I
wants
do
to do.
this,
And
well, if I don't this.
for those of you that don't know, Jim Davis is quite the Goblin Master.
Yeah. Gets another goblin.
He made quite the suicidal move, I believe, and at the Indianapolis Invitational this year, at the height of the mental misstep, or last year, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, 2011. The height of mental misstep in Legacy. Jim Davis played this deck, this Goblin deck, in a format where he needs his Aether Vials and Goblin Lackeys to resolve.
Yeah.
He's like, screw it. I love playing, you know.
This is my deck, and this is
my
what
deck.
I'm going to play, and
Yeah.
that's it. And I respect that.
And it paid
lot.
off for him quite handsomely. He made the finals of that Invitational.
Yeah, so just because there's a lot of hate for a deck or, you know, a card is seeing play that really hurts your deck, it shouldn't discourage you entirely, because there's kind of like this funny thing where, okay, everybody's going to be playing Mental Misstep, so I don't want to play the 1-drops, so people don't need to play Mental Misstep because nobody's playing the 1-drops, so I'll play the deck with the 1-drops. You know, I play the Goblins deck.
The problem with that is everybody played Misstep.
Everybody did play Mental Misstep, yeah. But he apparently dodged it well, and he was playing Misstep.
He was playing Missteps as well.
So here comes one Goblin attacking for Jim Davis.
So Boaz is trying to figure out why is Jim attacking his 1/1 into my potential 3/3.
I assume it's coming at Liliana.
It is coming at Liliana. The answer for Jim is Jump Home Incinerator. So regardless of...
You assume he has Gem Palm Incinerator. Anyway, did you
I've
see
seen
it?
I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay. So he's going to go ahead and block. And yeah, there is the Gem Palm Incinerator in Jim's hand. So he's going to...
Jim might actually value the... might actually want to just prevent the Liliana from ultimating, although splitting up 4 permanents isn't the end of the world. So
yeah.
I might... Yeah.
This is the last call to register for our 3 p.m. draft challenge. If you'd like to play in this event,
so Mistress Factory activated. Activated, declared as a blocker.
Please come see me up at the stage.
It's a
deals
3/3 and gets hit with a Gem Palm Incinerator, a cycled Gem Palm Incinerator for 2, and the last damage dealt by the Goblin. So.
And Jim could only attack with 1 Goblin. The other Goblin had Summoning Sickness.
That's right. So Liliana's ticking up yet again. Yeah, if I'm Boaz, I think I kind of like having Liliana sticking around rather than ultimating her. You know,
yes.
you can.
It's his only action right now,
Right.
other than the Creeping Tar Pit, and Jim can't cast his spells. Might as well make him discard them.
Yeah.
He's discarding some excellent cards. Jim has a Lackey and a Scalding Tarn in play. This is probably a reasonable time to ultimate the Liliana.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to ultimate or do you want to... Oh, never mind. I'm just wondering if maybe you just make him sack a guy,
one,
and because then you get to keep your Liliana around with a lot more loyalty, and you know, Jim's empty-handed anyway, so plussing Liliana here is dumb. Yeah, it just doesn't do anything but
it
plus
adds
Liliana.
It
adds a loyalty. That's it, right? So you can.
I like ultimating.
Okay,
I like
so he's going to go ahead and ultimate.
Yeah.
All right.
So, not sure what I'd make the piles. I'd probably make it like those
That's
2 in
exactly
one
what
pile
I would
and
do, yeah.
those 3 in another pile.
Yeah.
And Jim should definitely just take the extra land.
Yeah, Lackey's actually lacking. It's kind of doesn't do anything when there's nothing in Jim's hand. It's just a 1/1 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an unflipped Delver. You know, it's just very, very unimpressive. All right. So Liliana on just 1 counter.
So Jim draws a wasteland. And pretty much only a wasteland. Maybe like a Tarfire that... Nope, no Tarfires in Jim's deck.
No real burn besides the Incinerator, which cycles to kill creatures.
Yeah, mono goblins. 23 lands, 4 Aether Vials, and 33 goblins.
Is this a...
Split sleeve,
yeah.
I believe. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where that card came from.
Yeah, I think it was the top card of his library. I think he just saw it when he went to draw it, and although
I mean,
just,
it was after a shuffle, so
yeah.
Alright, so we have Jim going to his turn and
draws a fetch land off the top.
Not exactly the best card in the world, but he's gonna need these lands at some point.
Yeah, and otherwise Liliana's just gonna make him discard it, so he may as well just play it and pass back. No need to run the goblin.
Jim's just about out of fetchable lands, actually.
And is that an abrupt decay? I think he may have just drawn. Not that that's key here, but he's gonna go ahead and get rid of the creature. It's good. It's fine. Looks like he's gonna fetch.
Yeah, both fetching. I believe they should save some time when they can.
Yeah, and Creeping Tar Pit now into the red zone. Love that card. Really missed that card.
Yeah. I think the Worldwide Manlands are severely underrated in Legacy. I play Celestial Colony in my counterbalance deck.
Yeah.
And it is much worse than Creeping Tar Pit.
Yeah.
And I'm still happy with it.
I've seen, Maverick playing Stirring Wildwood is not uncommon either.
I think I prefer Treetop Village over either of the green Worldwide ones, but
sure.
Mishra's Factor is a little bit underplayed, but not every deck can afford some colorless lands, because is it Jason coming?
It is.
It is.
Jace the Mind Sculptor, and that looks like a Japanese Jace. Fancy.
Yeah. I would actually just start Fate Sealing.
He's gonna make look, he makes Jim discard the Ringleader with Liliana, and then he's gonna Fate Seal with Jace. I thought he was gonna Brainstorm because he put the Jace down, put it on 3, and it looked like that's what he was headed for. But yeah, Fate Seal, you
Jim
can keep it.
Has 1 fetchable land left in his deck. He has his Taiga. He only has 4 mountains, and one of them got ultimated with Liliana.
Here comes the Creeping Tar Pit. Probably, I don't know what's in his hand, but may just pass on that Liliana without activating, but he's going to certainly Fate Seal with Jace.
Yeah.
What do you got? Looks like Goblin War Chief.
No thanks.
Yeah, I'll put it on the bottom.
Yeah, you don't... Some people run the gambit of if their opponent has a uncorrect fetch line.
You let them keep it and then they shuffle it away. Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like it was a Cavern of Souls that ended up there for Jim Davis. Not particularly effective right now. And here comes another Fate Seal from Jace, and it's another bottom. Didn't quite see what it was. Another bottom. But in the meantime, Liliana's just chilling on 3. And it looks like she's going to go to 4. He's going to discard land. Yeah, it's fine. Just beefing up the Liliana a little bit.
Well,
he's got a Brainstorm in hand, so he's going to attack with the Creeping Tar Pit, put Jim to 6, pass back. There's an Aether Vial from Jim Davis. Not impressive either with nothing in hand, but could present a problem, but I imagine it won't.
Jim's going to get double killed this game.
Yeah,
Ultimate Liliana and Creeping Tar Pitted.
Yeah, or Ultimate Jace.
Ultimate Jace. He already got Ultimate Liliana.
Yeah, that happened already, and she stuck around. So 2 Brainstorms in Boaz's hand. Jace on 11 counters. Already Fate Sealed, and I think that was a keep it. He is now activating Creeping Tar Pit. I think, did he just Brainstorm or no? He plus Liliana and discarded a Brainstorm. Okay. That seems a little odd to me. I think I'd Brainstorm I'd use the Brainstorm rather than just discarding it. Get a card that's really like that you really don't care about, or anyway. And Jim Davis scoops him up for game 1 here in round 5 of the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open in Providence. Bug Landstill takes the first game. No sign of Landstill, no sign of Life in the Loam, but
still a fantastic draw from Boaz.
Planeswalker, dynamic duo, power couple, however you want to look at it. Jace and Liliana.
Turn 1 Mox Diamond into removal spell. Turn 2 Liliana the Veil.
Yeah.
Make Jim discard all of his cards, and then even had his last card was Abrupt Decay for Jim's Aether Vial.
These bug decks are making me want to play bug. Maybe I need to watch a Miracles deck to
get back,
get my head back in the Miracle game.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a bug control deck.
Yeah, I guess I could build both.
All right, so
there's the overlapping cards are ones that I have.
At the Atlanta Invitational 3 weeks ago, I was playing in the Legacy Open next to one Jim Davis.
Okay.
And I saw him make the coolest play I've ever seen. Only slight exaggeration. It's a sideboard game, and it's present in Jim's sideboard, although not for this match. But I saw Jim's opponent cast Show and Tell. And Jim does this classic, yeah, you win, and puts his card face down. His opponent flips up his Emrakul. So Jim flips up his Angel of Despair and blows up the Emrakul.
I think I heard about that. That's great.
Yeah, that's so awesome, and I think so many decks. I wish I had Angel of Despair in my Burn sideboard. I played Burn at that Open.
Thanks for the for the 5/5
flyer. Get your card.
You pay 3, I get a 5/5 flyer.
Yeah, no big deal.
That sounds like a good. Good
so other cards that Jim might want in this matchup, probably just Red Elemental Blast, and I don't think it's even all that good.
Chris Calderon and Eric Szynski, if you're in the room, please come see me up
on Boaz's side. I like his. He's got a Dark Blast. I like that.
Yeah.
I like his extra Liliana. We saw how much work it did there.
It's not like
it's not incredible,
great.
but he might want it. And I like the Tabernacle.
There's a Tabernacle at Pendle Vale.
Possibly the Damnation.
Yeah, I definitely like the Damnation. You might want the crop rotations.
Yeah, just to
find his Tabernacle.
Sure. Okay.
The Tabernacle seems like just
just game-breaking card. Yeah. Although he is facing down a deck that plays Wastelands, I assume.
Yep.
We saw Wastelands.
There are 4 Wastelands, 4 Rishon Imports in Jim's deck.
Yeah, so Tabernacle.
Good Goblin player.
Right on. I mean, that's one of the reasons to play Goblins is because you can do the mana denial kind of situation and still have pressure. And on that note, like, it's so easy for Jim to get some pressure on the board. Do you think Standstill is one of the cards that comes out?
Yes. Against a deck with Life from the Loam, I would absolutely cut Standstill. Jim, I think he's only cutting cards that are like pretty bad. His Goblin Sharpshooter, his Stink Scourger. For 2 of his 3 Red Elemental Blasts, I actually wouldn't cut anything else. Because the thing is that counterspells aren't that great. Like, if Boaz has a ton of cards to bring in, or a lot of removal options, he'll just bring all those in. And shave his like Force of Wills. So it actually doesn't counter all that much. And Jim has the ability to flood a board against Jace or, anything like that.
Yeah, he has ways to attack Planeswalkers.
Right.
If he can get a foothold on the board, which
Correct.
is something he just could
but
not.
But if he can't get a
foothold,
like, Boaz did not need Jace to win that game. That's a problem. A lot of these scary cards for Jim are not blue.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's cards like Liliana, cards even like Abrupt Decay. We saw doing some work there. Cards like even the Mox Diamond that he started off with are.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised I don't see a Tuk Tuk Scrapper in Jim's deck. He has a 10th Street Hooligan, but no Tuk Tuk Scrapper. So we're starting off with an uncounterable Goblin Lackey. Probably his best draw, but I don't think Dark Blast
Yeah, that's a Raven's Crime right there.
It is a Raven's Crime.
There's a Dark Blast on the other end.
Right.
I thought maybe you were mistaking it, but Mox Diamond to open up the game again for Boaz.
Yeah, just another
Dark Blast away your
unbelievable
dude.
draw from Boaz.
And I'll play Raven's Crime. Make you discard.
And he's got another turn 1 removal spell into turn 2 Liliana.
Whew. This is a hot deck. Or at least it seems that way when in these two games.
Yeah,
I mean,
when
obviously
you draw turn 1, Mox Diamond Liliana, that's something not to be totally laughed at.
There goes a Cycler. Gem Palm Incinerator went away for Jim Davis.
I think Jim Davis might, Richard Import. Keep him
Tap
off
your land.
Yeah, keep him off the Liliana.
Yep. Draw for the turn, draws land, plays Mishra's Factory, says go. Richard Import in action. That card saw a lot of play in Standard back when Mercadian Masks
it was the original Chase Rare.
Yeah.
It was a card that was like $15 for Richard Import. No way.
Right.
No way am I ever paying $15 for a Magic card.
Goblin Matron there.
And no, like.
I just wanted Squee for my Masticore. That was my. I was like, Mercadian. Oh my gosh, Squee with Masticore. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was my. I was excited about Squee and Two-Headed Dragon. That was
okay. All right.
You can. I was actually like more of a burn or red player.
To be fair, a lot of the cards that ended up being good for Mercadian Masks, not obviously.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, exactly.
First, like Gush, for example.
Yeah, for sure. So Goblin Matron from Jim, and a pass back.
We'll see a Liliana from Boaz.
Lily's gonna make.
I think it's gonna be a sacrificial. Oh, it's
no,
gonna be
he
plus
says
1.
Plus it, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, and then after that, I believe we'll see a Wasteland. Boaz. Take out the original.
Waste your port. Wow, all the business that was being done in that port, and now it's just a wasteland.
I see.
It's destroyed the economy there in Mercadia.
I believe Richard Import remains. No, that's not true. They say it's the only land ever to be banned, but Strip Mine's banned.
Yeah.
And Library of Alexandria is banned, and Bizarre Baghdad's banned. And the artifact lands are banned in Mercadian. Mirrodin block constructed.
Yeah.
So
Jim, you can see him doing the math, tapping the table there. He's not, he's not listening to some music, playing some beats. He's thinking about some numbers. What can I do?
Maybe War Chief.
I'm kind of surprised that Lily didn't clear the board.
Yeah.
Another matron.
More matrons. So maybe this gets a chieftain or a war chief. There are no chieftains in I believe. Let me double check. There are in fact no goblin
I'm surprised by that
chieftains.
because I actually like chieftain over war chief. Just because a lot of times the mana isn't even that much of an issue. Like the discount that you get from the war chief.
Every once in a while, you get to go. The strength of the goblin deck is playing these like goblin tutors. This is goblin demonic tutor.
Sure.
There's a goblin factor fiction.
Right, ringleader.
Yeah.
Oh, doing some more math, tapping his deck there.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of cards that like are very mana intensive, but like fantastic when you have a bunch of goblins in your deck. And that's where the war chief. You need all the mana to get everything out. You'd imagine Jim's either getting. I would imagine Jim's getting war chief or a card to discard to Liliana. Alright, so it's going with the war chief.
Goes with the war chief. Attack Liliana down to 3.
Draft challenge players.
Now I'm thinking, what if I'm Boaz? What is my plan? What do I have? Oh, he's going to dredge a Dark Blast. Okay, I like this.
Draft challenge.
I forgot about the Dark Blast being there, so
Yeah, the cool thing about the Dark Blast is it
can't see that.
simultaneously protects Liliana, clears Jim's board, and it helps him find a life from the loam. And I believe see if we'll see +1. Boaz a really big fan of
making your opponent discard.
yeah.
Or making both players discard. I didn't. Can we get a confirmation of what exactly was dredged away? Because that graveyard is just completely covered in
It was
glare.
2 bad cards. It was like
Yeah.
some lands and not a life from the loam. Let's
No.
just put it that way.
I just am curious because
Yeah,
I want to know what he's got to work with. What's that? Brainstorm, Thoughtseize, something else maybe.
Yeah, no land maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking we got such a quick glimpse.
Yeah, there's not a bunch of great cards for.
So Liliana makes Jim discard, and he discards that War Chief that he just found.
Is that a Relic of Progenitus? I saw.
So it's Jim Davis versus Boaz Van Driel and Liliana of the Vale here in round 5 of the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm Joey Pasco, joined in the booth by Adam Prosak, and we've been bringing you guys live coverage all weekend long. So far, Standard, Return to Ravnica Standard, shaping up to be very interesting. And Legacy, of course, just always interesting.
Yeah.
Just always good.
Always the best format.
It's like the All-Star game every week, right? It's just like, these are the
Yeah.
All-Stars of Magic, right? In a lot of cases, a lot of ways.
Let's see what we got here. The Relic of Progenitus is.
Yeah, he's gonna crack that now just to get rid of the Dark Blast.
Another good play is using his Wasteland. I believe he's going to waste one of the factors.
Waste one of the factors. Okay.
Maybe.
Looks like
he's
no.
not sure
Okay.
if he wants to. I didn't think about Relic of Progenitus from Jim's sideboard. I like it.
Neither did I. I wasn't thinking about it because mostly, you're thinking about Dark Blast, but like, what's the next level, right? Like Relic taking care of Dark Blast for Jim.
Well, Jim didn't see life from the loam, but you kind of assume.
Sure.
You definitely know now that you've seen Raven's Crime.
Right.
That is life from the loam.
Yeah, it's
I don't think I've ever seen a Raven's Crime without a life from the loam to back it up.
Yeah, they're a package deal. All right, so Jim says pass. Draws his card. Boaz draws his card, and it's an Engineered Explosives. So best he can do is make a 2.
I'd set it for 1.
Explosives for 2 if he wants.
Yeah, I would set it for 1.
Set it for 1 and make him discard.
Yeah, because you're going to plus Liliana in all likelihood.
Yeah, I imagine that too. Yeah, do that. And did he just do that for 0? Interesting.
I'm not sure I like 0.
I don't know that I like 0
He gets
either.
some tokens if he wants to get rid of his Mox Diamond.
John Romica, if you're in the room, your draft challenge is ready on the round tables. John Romica, if you're in the room, your draft challenge is ready on the round tables.
So a second Wasteland from Jim, and that turns on. He's a Gobliner Fiction.
Yeah.
You
Ringleader.
You split the pile into goblins and non-goblins, and you always take the goblins.
Yes. It's a strange way of factor fictioning, but it's a red way of factor fictioning.
Yes.
So you take what you can get. So Ringleader, Matron, the only creatures on Jim's side of the board. Life total still at 20.
Players, your parents for round 4.
That Engineered Explosives is on 0.
Rhode Island States players, your parents for round 4.
Boaz trying to find a way to get his own Mox Diamond into the graveyard.
Apparently.
I mean,
I believe what Jim's plan is going to be next turn, for the most, in all likelihood, Wasteland both Mistress Factories. Huh.
so that was
Jim wanted
up,
to keep
the Goblin.
the 2-1,
Incinerator?
yeah, over.
I think he just drew a Pile Driver.
That'd be a good one for him. You can Wasteland both factories, attack Liliana down to 3. and play a pile driver. That'd be a pretty solid turn for Jim. Probably sees that, seeing if he can do better. And I don't believe he can, because he definitely needs to take down Liliana at least one. Because Liliana ultimating here would be a huge play for Boaz.
Yeah, basically, if he's going to lose like half of his permanents, he wants to be sure he gets to choose which ones, and also take out 2 of Boaz's permanents as well.
Yeah.
So he's about to lose a third of his permanents if he goes with the plan you mentioned. Yeah, there he goes. I'll lose a third of mine. You lose a third of yours. Well, almost a third of yours,
yeah,
and I'm gonna
attack
Liliana to keep her from ultimating. And I'm gonna probably play something here, or no? No, he doesn't play anything.
So apparently he didn't draw pile driver.
No, I guess not. It was hard to see. I just got a quick glimpse. So we've got something here, and it is Dark Blast number 2.
Dark
Take
Blast.
out the Goblin Matron.
And then I believe this is a -2.
No, he pluses it. So discard the Incinerator, pass back. Jim Davis
Draws another Incinerator. Maybe a War Chief.
attacks Liliana down to 2. And I think he just passed back. Boaz is trying to decide whether he wants to get that Dark Blast back.
I don't think. Oh man,
No,
that's
he just
a
drew a
great draw
Mistress
for
Factory. Woof.
Boaz. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you get the Dark Blast back there either. I mean, what he was thinking about is, all right, because that's a 2/2, right? And so Dark Blast's not going to kill it.
Yeah.
But you can dredge it back and hold it until next turn, where you then, if you want to kill a 2/2, you Dark Blast and then dredge it back.
Yeah.
Then use the same Dark
The
Blast
problem with
twice.
that play in this particular situation would be the Liliana. You would have to mine it. You could not plus the Liliana
Right.
that turn, and Boaz decided that he wanted to plus the Liliana over potentially using 2 draw steps to kill one guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes that's
sometimes it's something you can do with Dark Blast. I
Right.
didn't like it at all there, and neither did Boaz. So he did think about it though. It's important. So
so
Liliana
Boaz-
ticks up. Jim discards. Now Jim is attacking Liliana down to 1 with the Ringleader. Ringleader's already done his job, but being able to kind of fight with Liliana seems
I
pretty
think
good.
Jim needed Liliana to hit more goblins and bet stronger goblins.
Yeah, that you mean Ringleader?
Yes.
Ringleader to hit more goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been much better. So Liliana ticks up. Down goes
Jim's best draw probably.
Jim drops Aether Vial and
The War Chief is probably the one he's been saving for a while. So now he's deciding if he wants to trade his War Chief for the Liliana effectively, and he decides to.
yeah. So I'm kind of surprised at the block. I mean, unless he just wanted to kill the War Chief.
Well, yeah, no, it activates, so it becomes a 3/3. So it actually just eats the.
Oh, never mind. That makes sense. Never mind. Yeah, I'm thinking of it as a 2/2. I forgot about him activating it
Yes.
to become a 3/3.
He couldn't do that last turn because it was summoning sick. Oh, there's a crop rotation. It's in. It's in the deck.
So Jim able to defeat 1 Planeswalker. Still has to defeat Boaz Van Driel here in game 2. Only 17 minutes left in the round for these guys.
Yeah.
And life total still at 20.
Right. Jim not known as a super fast player. And Boaz not playing a super fast deck.
No, not at all. So Jim declines to attack with his Ringleader, passes back to Boaz, draws Raven's Crime, and casts it. So I guess this is Jim tanking.
Yep.
Still deciding what exactly he wants to do. He wants to discard 2 Raven's Crime. Speaking of the Ravens,
Are you a Ravens fan?
I am a Ravens fan. I am a huge.
It's like you're from
Ravens
Baltimore
fan.
or something.
I am from Baltimore, and I've got my Ravens shirt on underneath my SCG
Yeah,
Live.
yeah,
SCG
we're
Live
Cardinals
shirt here.
so
Yeah. You got your Cardinals shirt on over there? Nice. Hometown boys, right?
I feel like Jim should play. Like he drew an Aether Vial, but yeah, Jim is like taking a lot of time here. Not playing his Aether Vial.
All right, crop rotation number 2.
Right. These are the really bad draws in your Life from the Loam deck.
Yeah.
These cards that aren't worth a card,
Actually
but
don't
really
do
good
anything.
with Life from the
Yeah.
Loam. Yeah.
I mean, if Life from the Loam is so key, it's like, do you want to play 4 maybe? I mean, he's playing 3, and he hasn't seen one yet, so
Right.
he hasn't even dredged one with the Dark Blasts, which I believe he's dredged twice, and now a 3rd time. Speak of the devil here. And there's Liliana. There's not Mistress Factory's Misty Rainforest, and a 3rd Mox Diamond, which he's happy to dredge away. Has a Dark Blast available now. Goblin Lackey joined the force on Jim's side of the board.
I think I would play Aether Vial over 4th land if I'm Jim.
He's
Maybe
got
is that
Vial, Incinerator, and Land.
Scalding Tarn, yeah.
Goes with Scalding Tarn.
Jim's going for the fetch land.
He's kind of going for a long game. I guess it's obviously already a long game,
Yeah.
but I guess what I'm saying is he's either trying to make it so that he can cast
Just
the next
kidding.
Ringleader or cast the Siege Gang Commander. So there goes the Dark Blast on the Goblin Lackey. Goblin Lackey gone. Boaz untaps. Draws for the turn. Gets an Abrupt Decay. Passes back. Mistress Factory holding down the fort on the side of the board.
Yeah,
Ringleader
Mistress
just
Factor is an excellent card.
Ringleader kind of just hanging out, doing nothing, like reading a book or something. May as well. Writing a book. Doing nothing else.
Jim's getting his Taiga
His lone Taiga.
in case he draws his 10th Street Hooligan,
Because why not?
or possibly a Crossing Grip, but I don't imagine too many grips in Jim's grip.
I think he just drew another fetch line. Arid Mesa, I believe.
That'd be one of them.
Jim kind of flooded.
Started just means the rest of the draws are good for the most
I guess
part.
yeah. I guess if you want to look at it that way, sure.
Once you
Still a lot of time left in the round, considering, it's not as if Boaz can go, well, I just need to not lose this game, and I win the match. It's like 13 minutes
this is
left.
a great draw from Boaz, probably the best possible.
Just drew a brainstorm when he had a handful of crap.
Basically.
He's got Abrupt Decay, Brainstorm, and other than that, 2 crop rotations and a Mox Diamond. none
At
of
worst,
which
the
are
crop
great.
rotation can shuffle one land into another with the same
Sure.
type.
And we have a Mog War Marshal.
from Jim.
Marshalling the troops. Got 1 recruit.
Might actually make it safe to attack. I believe Jim still has an Incinerator in his hand, so Jim's sending into the red zone. One cool thing that I think Boaz should do is try and block.
Mm-hmm. So activate Factory.
Yes. When Jim goes to before blockers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you let him block.
Okay. Activate. I'm a 3/3.
It's not a 3/3 yet. I believe
Right, it's on the stack, right?
Yes.
So right now it's a 2/2, trying to become a 3/3.
So-
We're gonna crop rotate here, you think?
Brainstorm first.
Okay. Brainstorm 1, 2, 3. Gets Maelstrom,
Maelstrom
Pulse,
Pulse,
Wasteland,
Wasteland, Bajuka Bog?
and I don't know. Is it Bajuka Bog or just Verdant Catacombs?
I hope it's Verdant Catacombs. Bajuka Bog doesn't seem great here.
No, it doesn't. That's why I was
It's
wondering.
Verdant Catacombs.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. All right, so
So
he's going to go ahead and crop rotate.
sacrifice his factory that was basically marked for death anyway.
Yeah.
Get a nice shuffle out of his library. Now he can get either... Is that a Ensnaring Bridge? Wow. Yeah, he can get his Tabernacle at Pendle Vale.
You know, actually, Ensnaring Bridge, he only has one copy. I actually like bringing that in. I wasn't thinking about it, but he has that Liliana that does
If he has
a
the
lot of work.
Liliana
Yeah,
he has
he's-
to draw Liliana basically.
Yeah, or, I mean, or just empty his hand in general, like which
It's
isn't
tough to
as
do.
easy. But you know, we did see him empty-handed throughout Game 1 and for the earlier part of this game, both of which were times when Liliana was around. So
Yeah.
but that's actually kind of cool. So Tabernacle comes down for Boaz, and why don't we get a Tabernacle up on screen for those of us who want to be reminded? It's basically they have to pay mana for each creature that that wants to attack.
That'd be a fetch land of some variety, Liliana, and
a
the
Mistress
fourth
Factory.
Mistress Factory going into the graveyard.
There it is, Tabernacle. And those of you playing it during Time Spiral may remember the Magus of the Tabernacle.
Yes.
All creatures now require an upkeep cost of it. I'm sorry, it's not if they were attacking. It's just their upkeep.
Yeah.
They cost 1. I was thinking of something else.
Yeah,
But
propaganda or
upkeep.
ghostly prison type of
That's
thing.
what it was.
But no, this one's just it's the land that Magus of the Tabernacle was
Yeah.
based off of. I thought the Magus cycle was really cool.
It was awesome.
The Future Sight ones were based on lands. No, the Planar Chaos ones were based on lands. The Future Sight ones were based on enchantments, and the Time Spiral
were
ones
artifacts.
were based on
Right,
artifacts.
Curse of Magus of the Scroll.
Magus, Curse Scroll, Candelabra, and these are all like insane cards. Magus of the Bazaar of Baghdad.
So interestingly, suddenly both players, I guess, aware of the clock, and it's sped up at the worst time, of course, while we were talking about something else.
Yeah.
Jim decided to pay some upkeep, for the Tabernacle, and he lost at least one of his guys. There was some attacks. There was a Dark Blast. Jim left with a token and a Goblin Ringleader in play. Now, not many plays on Boaz's side, so he passes. Jim pays the one.
I like
pays the upkeep.
Jim's way to speed up. He plays just as deliberately, but just in hyper speed.
Yeah, it's like you're fast forwarding his side of the board. So there's
Yes.
a Goblin Pile
We've now
Driver.
fast forward Jim's side of the board.
So Goblin Pile Driver for Jim, and I believe he may have passed here, but Boaz
Yeah.
is considering something
So
end of
Dark
turn.
Blast.
Nothing. Yeah, there's a Life from the Loam. Life from the Loam.
Yeah, I don't like Jim's chances anymore.
Life from the Loam. Now cast.
Factory.
Gets Factory
Factory
Wasteland.
Okay.
And
He's going to be here for about another hour. He's doing sketches, alterations, signatures, and his
Boaz now able to make it tougher for Jim to pay that upkeep cost on the Tabernacle.
get a sketch done.
There's a Wasteland for one of the caverns.
So
And pass back.
Boaz also has an Abrupt Decay in his hand.
Yeah,
I
waiting for
believe.
that pile driver to become a problem. Here we go. Crack the fetch land. Everybody's in here on Jim's side of the board. All 3 had to be paid for. And there's a tropical island for Boaz. Fetched up by the Verdant Catacombs, and Abrupt Decay on your Goblin Pile Driver. Take 3. Yeah, Abrupt Decay on your now already abruptly decayed Pile Driver. So Jim passes back now, and Boaz taking control of the game with a
Yeah.
Life from the Loam and Abrupt Decay. I mean, he already kind of had pretty good control. Jim really not a lot of gas, not able to really get a foothold. And now upkeep, pay 1 for your Ringleader, and lose your token. That's what Jim decides not to do. He decides not to pay the 1 for the token.
Mm-hmm.
So Ringleader sticks around. Jim with 2 lands available, and
Attention players.
Ringleader coming over to play. Factory's going to get in the way. Okay, trade, sure.
Once again, that is time in the round.
It was a summoning Sig Factory, could not be activated to become a 3/3.
Yeah.
Call for one.
And here comes Aether
Aether
Vial
Vial.
from Jim. No creatures in play, no tabernacle tax. Not exactly what Jim
Loam
wants. But
coming back to play.
Life from the Loam dredged back.
So I believe
Replace
might see
factory,
is
or plays second
maybe
factory.
a Loam and some Raven's Crime action. Unless he no, that was I'm sorry, that was removed earlier with Relic of Progenitus. So that's not a possibility.
Vial number 2, first one ticks up to 1. And Jim says go.
Boaz has both Maelstrom Pulse and Engineered Explosives if he wants to take care of both vials.
Yeah, he has a second explosives. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Pop the cast and pop an explosives for 1. Clears the board of Aether Vials. And cost him 3 mana either way, but just a fine way to deal with it. Life from the Loam cast gets Wasteland, Factory, the exact same 3 that he got the first time he cast it. Loam goes to the yard
Wasteland
here.
taking out
Waste your
Cavern
Cavern.
Souls.
Boaz passes back. Both players playing very quickly now. Boaz up a game, 5 minutes left in the round, and I don't know that Jim is able to even make this a draw.
Yeah, I don't think Jim can win this game.
Doesn't seem like he's been able to get a foothold in the entire match, really. It seems like he's always playing catch-up.
Yeah.
At most, he's got parity on board. He's achieved that, but not ever has he been, at least it doesn't seem like he's ever been ahead. So fetch land from Jim, gets a mountain.
Yeah, and
Shuffle. And we see like
in
a
a
war
long
chief
game,
or something
Jim's
here.
deck
Yeah,
is actually
there's a
very
war
bad
chief.
against Mishra's Factory.
That makes sense. It's not a long game deck, right? I mean,
It sort of is. Jim,
It
Jim's deck
can,
plays
I
well
think,
in an attrition scenario. It has like some of the most expensive cards that are cast in Legacy.
I guess that
3
I see
3 and
what
4,
you're saying.
and it even has 2 5-mana cards. That's far more than other decks play.
That's fair. That makes sense.
For
I
1
mean,
mana, and you get an appropriate value. Sometimes you don't pay all that mana, but it's not like Birds of Paradise is a super Legacy playable card.
I believe, there is a Raven's Crime available
Okay.
there. I think the first Raven's Crime was gone, but I think he has 2. He had at least 2. He has 2. So,
Raven's Crime being cast for a second time.
and there hits a Siege Gang Commander. And upkeep, pay 1, says Jim, for the Tabernacle. Tabernacle at Pendrel Vale, tax there.
Yeah. Against these factories and a Light from the Loam Raven's Crime engine, I don't think Jim has any way to get out of this. Nonetheless, he is mulling his options.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be impressive if Jim is able to actually win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jim playing for the draw at this point,
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any possible way unless he wins this turn and then they somehow shuffle up and try to play a game 3, which
Wins this turn, eh?
and then wins like
I'd be
on
impressed.
turn 2 of the last game. Somehow I can't imagine that happening. All right, so Jim pays 1, gets a Tin Street Hooligan.
So the Loam is going to come back.
Here comes more dredging from Boaz. Not the dredge deck, but happy to use that keyword with cards like Life from the Loam and Dark Blast. What do you think? Cast Life from the Loam here?
He dredged it back.
I think he wants it. So there's the Life from the Loam. I'll get a Wasteland, a Factory, and a Wasteland maybe. Or maybe do I have another Factory? I do. So Wasteland, Factory, Factory. It's exactly the same split as the last couple times. He's got all 4 factories available. And he plays the 3rd. Obviously Wasteland doing nothing with Jim's current land.
Right. Raven's Crime is an important one to get the last card out of Jim's hand, which is
Yeah.
a Goblin Ringleader.
So, Wasteland actually doing a little bit of work there anyway, even though it didn't hit the board. Just being discarded to a Raven's Crime that was being recast. And Jim now during his upkeep trying to decide how much do I want to pay? What could I draw here? I'm empty-handed. I have 2 guys on board. Should I just pay for both of them? Yeah, you look. It's really like he's Bonfire of the Damned if you do, Bonfire of the Damned if you don't. That's not that was awful.
I liked it.
He finds an Aether Vial. Does only pay for 1 guy and draws Aether Vial, plays it, and Boaz with a Brainstorm, potentially in response to the Vial, I imagine.
Yeah,
It
one of
seemed
the cool
like
things
that.
you can do it with Brainstorm and Life from the Loam,
Mhm.
you can put 2 lands or other cards you don't want back, and then dredge the Life from the Loam or the Dark Blast to mill through them. I've actually drawn Dark Blasts against creatureless decks, or dredged Dark Blasts against creatureless decks.
Just so you can kind of refresh the top of your library in a roundabout way. So, 4th Factory into play. 1 activated. 2nd one activated.
And we're
in they
approaching
come.
time.
Yeah, this is Boaz on the offensive, and I guess just hit Jim for 4. Knocks him to 13.
As time is called. So
And Jim,
that's time for these players.
Jim pays for his 1 dude for the Tabernacle tax. Yeah, not at all.
Jim sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah, it's
No,
kind
you
of been
can't
written
win.
there for a while. I think he may have saw it, but kind of felt like maybe there's some way he can
Doesn't have
change
anything
it.
else to do.
He's like, maybe there's some way I can erase the writing on the wall, change the writing on the wall. Back to the Future, like
Yeah.
go back in time. No, anyway.
Yeah,
So
this is
Boaz Van Driel with Bug Land still takes down Jim Davis and his
Goblin deck.
his Goblin deck that he is known to play.
So,
I guess technically it's 1 game, 1-0-1.
I mean, Jim conceded that game.
Is that
but, yeah.
okay? Either way, it's a win.
Yeah, it wins a
Boaz.
win. 3 points for Boaz.
Right.